Alright, all done here. Today I'm going out to get the new truck. Got my bag ready, I got my paperwork, title, insurance, money. I'm taking my work laptop with me. I had to work this morning even though it's a Sunday because I am on call. If you're not familiar with that, a lot of engineering teams now, and a lot of, especially software engineering, we have this thing called on call, which pretty much means that, like in the old days, someone would carry around a pager and be on call if they needed them. We get automated call whenever there's an issue and we have to respond to it fairly quickly. So whenever we're on call, we have to carry around our laptop and always have it available. So that will be going with me today. Hopefully I don't get any more incidents that I need to handle. But if I do, I'm going to have to stop in the middle of my trip and take care of those. So I'm going out to the Tri-Cities area. That's about 170 miles from us. It's on the eastern side of Washington, so we're going through the Cascades. It's going to be fairly dry. Unlike here where it's, I don't know if you can see, it's raining cold here. Over there they get a lot less rain and it's pretty much a desert. So we're going over there. We'll be, I think the Tri-Cities area is actually on the border. I've only driven through the Tri-Cities a couple of times, but we'll be on the border of Washington and Oregon, and hopefully we can get back there and back without too much trouble. It's gonna be a long drive today, probably about 7 hours round trip. So let's get going. Last road trip with the Ranger. There's the deer damage. So at least we get to go on one last trip before trade it in. Alright, getting started. Need to go pick up some coffee, but yeah, we're looking at about 3 hours, a little bit over 3 hours and 200 and something miles. Not too crazy.
Pick somebody else, man. Who's gonna believe I'm a surfer? Like, what are they? Like soundbite? Yeah, exactly. Where do I have to start? I'm from Idaho, man.
Just reached Snoqualmie Pass, so this is the highest point of the 90 freeway as you go from western Washington to eastern Washington. And I can already see it's getting pretty sunny on the eastern side, so hopefully it's some nice weather out there and it's less cloudy than it is on the west side. But if you haven't if you can't tell by now, there's not gonna be a whole lot about the truck in this video. It's gonna be just kind of me talking as I drive over to pick up the truck. But I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos on the truck over the next month. So if you're interested in F-150 Tremor stuff, make sure to subscribe. I already have a couple mods planned. I'm also going to be doing some off-roading. I have gonna be planning a video as we do a cross-country trip from Seattle to LA. So I'm gonna be talking about the truck, MPG, mileage, just what it's like living with the truck. So if you're interested in the truck and that type of stuff, and you're just interested in my content, make sure to like, subscribe. It helps a lot. I'm trying to reach 1,000, almost there. So hopefully get there by the end of the year. So yeah, sorry, this is my channel, so I'm just gonna be this is my video, so I'm gonna be talking about a lot of random stuff. So if you don't like it, you can always leave. So we're here at Snoqualmie Pass. I wanted to talk about some kind of interesting facts. So if you're ever up here and you notice, like, kind of when you get near the ski resort, there's these kind of it looks like poles, and they have like a little box on top, and they're on the side of the freeway, and they have wires running from them. And what's cool about that is they're actually like exercise bikes. They're not exercise bikes, but they're pedal bikes that they rigged up to cables, and they actually attach dynamite to those cables. And someone gets on they light the dynamite, someone gets on those bikes and they pedal, and it actually pedals dynamite up the hill. And they use that during the winter because there's so much snow up here. And there's a risk of like avalanches, and avalanches coming down and blocking the freeway and killing people potentially. So they'll actually close down the freeway, have someone get on the bike, light dynamite, they'll pedal the dynamite up the hill on that cable, they'll let it go and they'll drop it, and it will trigger an avalanche. So that's every time I bring people up here, I like to point out the little dynamite bikes because it's kind of just like a crazy thing. They also use like tanks, and I think depending on different parts of the Washington Pass, they use like artillery shells and crazy. They do a lot of crazy stuff to manage avalanches up here, just because they get an insane amount of snow. So yeah, random fact if you're ever on the Cascades here in Washington. Maybe they do that in Oregon too. I know it's somewhat unique to this part of the Northwest. Maybe you can kind of tell it's getting a little sunnier. So I'll do another update when we get a bit closer. Yeah, check this out. I realized that I actually haven't mentioned what truck I'm buying. So Actually, I didn't mention what vehicle, so that kind of gives away a little bit. I am buying a truck. I'm buying an F-150, specifically the Tremor trim. Sorry. And I'll do a whole video on kind of how I landed on that. But just to sum it up, after I got in the accident with this truck, I got an estimate and I got a kind of timeline on how long it's going to take to fix. And I can't really get it fixed till January. And specifically, I can't get it fixed before our trip in December. We take that long distance trip to LA every year. I can't really drive this at night because I only have one headlight and it's pretty smashed up. And when you drive down to LA, especially because right now the sun sets here in the Northwest around 4:30, that means we're pretty limited and we wouldn't be able to drive after 4:30, and it would make that trip like take a really long time to get down there. So I wanted another vehicle before we went down to LA. I put some feelers out, and originally I was kind of feeling around with the Bronco, and I put some feelers out, and a dealer got back to me a couple days after that, and they told me that a customer actually canceled their order, and they offered me the chance to reserve that Bronco. It was a Bronco Wildtrak that had just come in, and they asked me if I want to reserve it. They said I could put down a $500 refundable deposit, and they were charging only a couple thousand over MSRP. But I didn't like the idea of paying over MSRP for a vehicle. I hadn't really looked at the market. In hindsight, I have looked at the market, and it's pretty crazy for Broncos. I saw, for example, there's a dealer by my house in Seattle. They're selling a Wildtrak that has 1,000 miles on it, and so it's technically used, and they're selling it for $95,000. So it's like a little bit under $60,000 Wildtrak, how it's spec'd out, and they're charging $40,000 over MSRP for a used Bronco. So in hindsight, maybe I should have just bought that Wildtrak that dealer offered me. It was pretty much how I would have spec'd it out, but it was the low trim, and I kind of wanted the medium, or the mid or high. So, whatever. I thought about it, and that's fine, because once I put more thought into it, I realized that the Bronco doesn't really address any of the issues I have with this truck and what I wanted in the next vehicle. I wanted slightly more storage space for in the bed, specifically just for cargo, and I wanted a fold flat, or so like I wanted the seats to go up so that my dog can have like the whole floor in the back seat. The Bronco seats aren't really better than what I have in the Ranger, and the last thing I really wanted was more range. So since we do a lot of road trips, I really don't like stopping for gas all that often. And this one gets about 350 miles per gallon, and I think the Bronco was even worse than that. It was about similar or worse in terms of fuel range. So once I thought about the Bronco, really didn't address any of my issues. So I made videos in the past talking about how I think I would go with the F-150 again. Not again, but I would go with the F-150 if I were to sell my Ranger. So I started looking back at the F-150s. Originally I was going for a power boost, and at the time I originally looked at the F-150s, the Tremor wasn't a thing yet. So I seen that's kind of new, so I was looking around, checking that out, and I had planned to buy a power boost and do a little bit of kind of minor off-road modifications, like maybe a slight level, and better tires and things like that. And the Tremor is kind of where I would land if I were to modify power boost. It's not a hybrid, which has its pluses and minuses. It's going to be less complicated, there's less things to fail, but you're going to have that hit in MPG. It does, however, have like better approach and departure angles just because of the body styling and things like that. There's a lot of aerodynamic things on the power boost, which I would probably either remove or maybe modify just because I want to have those better approach and departure angles, especially when you're off-road. So that's how I ended on the Tremor. Like I said, I'll go into more detail about that in another video, but yeah, so I just want to give you a quick reasoning and kind of tell you what truck I am buying today, since I haven't mentioned that. Yeah, so if you can see, we're actually here on the eastern side. It's actually pretty sunny over here, like I was expecting. So we're about another hour and a half away from the dealership, and I'm probably gonna make one more stop. And yeah, we're making not bad time, so it's a nice day overall. It's probably the last time you're gonna see the Ranger. We're right outside of Hanford Reach. So Hanford Reach is just right over this road right here. Hanford Reach National, I think it's not a national park, but it's a national recreation area now. This is where, it's a very important site during the Manhattan Project, World War II and things like that. It's where the plutonium was developed for the very first nuclear weapon used at the Trinity test, as well as the plutonium for Fat Man, which everyone knows was dropped on Japan during World War II. So, yeah, pretty interesting historical site. It also grew a lot during the Cold War, and it was used a lot for different weapons, kind of a radioactive material. So, we're about an hour away from the dealership, the Tri-Cities. Just took a break to stretch my back because it was hurting a little bit. Gonna get back in the car. Next time you see me, I'm probably not gonna film at all at the dealership, just that's all business. So I'm gonna hopefully pick up the truck. On my way back, I'll stop and kind of go around it really quick with the new truck, and I'll see you then. Alright, so picked up the truck. It's actually only 5 o'clock, but as you can see, it's pitch black. Down there is Yakima. I wanted to stop really quick to do this video. So unfortunately, it's really dark. I'm going to do another video with more details in the next couple of weeks, so make sure to subscribe for that. This is black. I think it's a gate black or something like that. It's not the dark blue one or anything. This is actually the black trimmer. And yeah, quick video. I want to get home. I have to drive a few more hours to get there. But just give you a quick walk around. I do really like how the Tremor, the appearance package, has these rear exhaust pipes instead of the sun coming out the side. It looks pretty nice. It has the slow dropping tailgate. Pretty cool. It also has the little tailgate step. I'll figure that out later. And my favorite part here is the giant back seat. Big load flat floor that I've been talking about non-stop. It's hard to do with one hand, but this is great. This is kind of why I bought the whole truck, almost just for that feature. Let me get back in the cab. So, we've driven about almost 100 miles, and let's see what we're at right now in terms of gas mileage. Let me turn this on. Fancy. Oh, I need to go. I'll go close that before we leave, but it's having a hard time focusing. It's hard to see, but I'm a little bit over 16 miles per gallon. It's been inching up slowly since we left. It was because the first couple miles were city. But this is 99% highway. We're at 86 miles right now, so not great, but it's not bad. It could be a lot worse. Everything. So a lot of people were telling me that the 401A comes with the 8-inch screen. No, it doesn't. I think this confirms it. It's not an add-on or anything like that. This is how it came, just basic 401A. So let me turn this down. Yeah, so you get a 12-inch screen. One thing I did want that this didn't have is it doesn't have the workspace. I just wanted to show people when they get out of the car, like, look at this, bam, slap it down, you have that big open space. But honestly, besides that showing off to people, I honestly wouldn't use that because I don't sit in my truck when it's parked. I know a lot of people do that, but that's not my thing. So yeah, sorry it's dark. I wanted to show a little bit more, but that's gonna have to be another video. So let's see how much further I have to go. 2.5 hours still back to Seattle. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, so alright, thanks for watching, everybody. I know not the greatest finale to this, but I'm enjoying it so far. Everything in this is so much nicer than any previous vehicle I've owned. In general, I've always bought the base vehicle, how they come, and this is like the most optioned truck I've ever had. Our most option vehicle in general that I've ever owned. And it has the, I didn't realize, I guess it's a thing, it has the auto steering, so it'll keep in the center of the lane and keep the distance from the cars in front of them. So it's pretty nifty. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Like I said, I'm gonna do a video later this week, kind of going around the truck again, going into more detail, showing everything. I'll have another video. I ordered a bed cover that's being shipped via freight, so that might give you a hint kind of which bed cover it is. So that's being shipped out. It's gonna take a couple weeks. I'm gonna put that on. I have a couple other minor mods I'm gonna be doing. We're doing the cross-country trip in about 3 weeks, so I'll be doing a cross-country review of the Tremor as an owner instead of just being some media person. So there'll be real life owners cross-country trip, and I'll be going over the MPG and just kind of living with the Tremor. What else do I have coming up? I'll be doing some minor off-roading as well in Southern California, so that's coming up. So yeah, there's a lot of Tremor videos, I guess, if you like those type of things. If not, sorry, I'll get to my kind of normal content soon, so just bear with me a little bit. Thanks for watching the video. I know it was a lot of rambling, but here we are. I'm pretty happy with it. So see everyone later. MPG update. So we're about 215 miles here. I just got home and we're at 18.6 miles per gallon, which isn't that bad. It's a lot better than 60 miles per gallon earlier. I know these aren't too accurate on the trip computers, but like I said, I'll be doing another video where we go in more depth and we use better calculation methods. But yep, just wanted to show this really quick before I get off. So yeah, like I said, see everybody out there. Bye.